So AutoCAD lets us form lines out of different patterns. And here's an example that lets you learn how to do it. Different industries use different line types to represent different things as part of their standards. There's hidden lines, center lines, phantom lines, faraway lines, close lines. Zigzag lines are often used for certain types of piping or fencing. So there's all sorts of line types that are available, and depending on your industry, they will mean something when somebody reads a drawing and sees them. So this is just a simple little shape that gives you practice with the tool to load a line type and then to assign a line to that line type or a line type to that line. You can make your own line types. That's up in Express Tools, and we'll do that later if you choose that as one of your optional things to do later on. But for now, we're just going to draw this thing, and this is a continuous line. It's a straight line. It's kind of a bitmap, so it doesn't look all that great. But that's a continuous line. This is a center line, long, short gap, short line, short gap. And then long, short gap, short line, short gap. This is a center line. This is a phantom line. Long, short gap, line, short gap, line, short gap. So there's two short lines with each long one. And this is just called zigzag. So let's go ahead and draw that. And again, what it says to do is load phantom to, center to, and zigzag. So when I first go to look at a line or a line type, it only draws a continuous line. That's all that's in there. So let's type the word line type, L-I-N, and line type comes up. And this box comes up, and all there is a continuous line. And so we can go ahead and load more lines. So I want to load phantom 1. I'm just looking for the P's. Sorry, phantom 2. And it needs to be phantom 2. There's reasons for that. It has to do with how AutoCAD started things. They started with phantom, which wasn't really quite the right size to show up properly, and so they've done a couple others. We use phantom 2. So once you've done it, you click OK. And now it's loaded into my choices. Let me load another one called center 2. There it is, center 2. I'm going to load that one. OK. And now let me go ahead and load. If you don't see it, you have to load it. Load zigzag. Way down at the bottom, zigzag. So those are the ones that I want to use. And now I'll draw something that looks kind of like it. I see there's a circle of some size, and I'm going to check my O-snaps because drawing, these are called the quadrants. Quadrants. So I can draw along the quadrants. I've got my O-snap set. So I'll draw these center lines from quadrant to quadrant, quadrant to quadrant, and then I'll draw my other lines. And I can't really tell for sure, but I think that this line is the same length as that line. And I know I tell people do not assume, but I don't have a distance, so I'm going to pick that because I think it'll look cool. Doesn't say what the distance is, so I can draw it any distance I want, but I want to practice my copy command. I'll bring it straight down to there. There we go. So I've got something that sort of looks like it. Now I have to set the line types. And the way we're going to do it in this exercise, there are other exercises that, depending on what you're doing, will set those line types in a different way. But for right now, we'll use the properties box. Properties. So I can type prop for properties, enter, and this little box comes up over here. I'll bring it over here so that you can see it maybe a little better. And if I select a line, I can choose the line type. Click. And I think that one is Phantom 2. Hit escape. And then these two lines, if I look at my line type again, change it from bilayer to center 2. And this bottom one changes to zigzag. There it is. That's what I would like you to draw. Just shows that you have the ability to manipulate line types, choose a line, and assign a line type to it. And so now I have to save it. File, save as, plate 3.1. And I'll go ahead and replace it. There we go. Oh, I've got it open already. So I'll just forget. I've done it over here too already. Okay, so there we go. That is your apply line types or assign line types exercise.